G'day folks. Well, I want to give you a heads up on what plans I have coming up in the next or this year. You know how I did a video there a few months ago about the ute build? Well guys, I really got thinking about it. Reality kicked in, guys, about a month or so after I put the vid up, and I really got thinking about the whole sort of scenario of it, and yeah, oh geez, I tell you what, I think I bit a little bit more than I could chew. It was just going to be too much at the end of the day. This car would have suffered, and I don't want that. I want to keep really moving with it. And it takes money. It does take money to keep sort of elevating the performance of it, like new wheels, and you know, I really want to prep this other 355 block again. I've got the crank on order, and bearings and everything, and we'll dive on that one. That's sort of videos and updates with that. Like I said, I've got the ignition box that's apparently supposed to be coming. So I really want to keep on top of this. It's my passion. It really is. I'm absolutely loving, you know, doing what I'm doing to this car, and it really deeply excites me. Whereas the ute was going to be sort of a sideline sort of thing, and yeah, when I've got a bit of spare time, you know, tinker with it. But oh, geez, I just don't seem to have that sort of spare time and money to throw at it. But anyway, guys, it's not all lost. My son's actually got a 1984 dual cab Hilux 4-wheel drive. He bought that about 18 months ago. It was his first little car, first little rig, and we got it fairly cheap. And actually we've been working on it, and I never really put any vids up or mentioned it. Just on the sideline I was helping Jesse sort of, you know, work on it, get his exhaust system going on it, and we did all these little things to get it nice and roadworthy. And he drove it for a little while and sort of lost a little bit of interest, and he ended up buying a Holden Commodore, and that's his daily car because he works for me, guys. He's been with me now, I don't know, probably 12 months. And he loves it, you know. He enjoys working with my other employee, which is Tom, and they sort of get on really well together, and I sort of come and go with work now, and keep an eye on them, do a little bit of work when I have to, and it's working really well in that sense. But anyway, getting back to what Jesse sort of wants to do with his Hilux, now that he's not using it as a daily, he wanted to put a V8 in it, and he's been looking around at a few sort of ones that have already had V8s in them, and you know, and oh geez, you know, the trouble is with them, guys, it's all very well, but you're buying this other second-hand crap, and you usually inherit someone else's problems, and that's basically what he was sort of up against, these ones he was looking at. And I said to him, Jess, look, why don't we pull the 253 out of my ute? That 253 needs a bore out because there's one cylinder that's down in compression. So we might skip a couple of sizes because it's a standard bore. We'll go straight to maybe say 40 thou, get some pistons, rings. I know the bearings are perfect in it. I know it's got a good camshaft in it. It's actually got a little bit more duration on the exhaust side, which is really what you want for turbos. It was suited for gas, and I never ended up putting it on gas. So it's got a little bit more duration on the exhaust side. Anyway, so what I mentioned was, why don't we pull that out? Why don't we adapt this into your Hilux? We'll get an adapter plate and, you know, flywheel, or set that all up, mount it up to the gearbox. I'll fab up the engine mounts. It obviously is going to need a custom sump. I know these motors intimately. and a 253 with some boost, guys. Let's just do a rear mount turbo, I said, for it. I've got the turbo. We've pretty much, we've got a lot of stuff. We need a carby, fuel pump, fuel reg, all the associated little bits, wastegate, all them little bits. Fuel lines, we'll just, we'll go rubber fuel lines, but we'll keep it budget minded. And I sprung it on him there, actually today, and I said, what do you reckon? Look, I'll be more than happy to help you, nurture you through this project, and it'd be a great father-son project. And it's a bit of a consolation for me not doing the ute, and I'll do all updates on this Hilux. I think it's going to be fantastic. Let's go for a look, guys, and we'll have a little bit more of a chat about it. So it's not all lost. You're going to see another turbo build, but in something completely different. How crazy is that? We're going to mount the turbo, guys, in the back of the tub. Keep it up a bit, and but have it enclosed, but with some airflow going through it, so it's sort of a sneaky setup. So no one sort of, when you're looking at it, you'll never know. And of course, we're going to, there's going to be a fair bit of fabrication work going on to adapt the 253 into this. But I've got radiators, I've got alternators, starter motors, I've got 2 sets of header, I've got lots of bits that'll save Jesse a lot of money in getting this organised. So this, guys, will be a sideline. There'll be a lot of updates on this, and I'm actually going to number them as we go along. So we'll call it Rearmount Hilux Part 1 right through it, however many it takes to complete the deal. So this will be ongoing this year. The plan is, hopefully later in the year, it'll be up and running. We're going on low boost to start with. We're not going anything crazy, any intercoolers, anything like that. But it's going to be a great father-son bond. And I know Jesse, my son, has performed a lot of tasks on this rig. He's had the gearbox out himself, swapping the clutch over, put it all back in with a couple of his mates that helped him. So he's well on the way to furthering his knowledge, and with a bit of help where he needs it, but I'm going to encourage him to do the work, but I'll be there to look at him. There's no doubt I'm going to have to put a ton of work in it myself, but I want to do it because for number one, it helps your son. I want him to further his education on it because he does love turbos, trust me. And who doesn't? So, well, there you go, guys. So that's going to be the next little sideline project. The Monaro will not get forgotten. That is number one, but when we do some improvements on it, we do updates on it, little videos, so it's going to be very exciting. And this will be very unique, guys. How often do you see a tub-mounted turbo 253? Yeah, well, I can't think of anyone that's got anything similar to that, and it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait. So, because I've always wanted to turbo a 253, have something very quiet and stealthy, but very powerful at the same time. And I think that turbo that I've got will be perfectly matched with the 253. It was a little bit too small for the 308, but this 253, I think it'll be just spot on. All right, guys, well, it's just a little, this is number one. This is the introduction to the epic little build on the Hilux. I can't wait to show you more when we get started on it. He's actually going to drop the wheels off or put the wheels back on it in the next day or two. And it looks like this motor will be out over the weekend. So things are going to start to happen quick on it. But like I said, there's going to be a lot of work to get it to how we want it. And I want to share it with you all, guys. And this will be a great chance for you to really see how it all see how we do it. All right, guys. Well, I'll pop one up soon when that MSD box turns up in the next, well, hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed. and we'll dive into that one too, because that really excites me as well. Alright guys, lots more to come. I'll catch you later.